Well, hello, folks. It's Lester here, and I am so very excited to be coming to you live from inside the caravan or the camper or this. These things go by so many names depending on what side of the world you live on or in which country you live on here in the US. We've heard everything from RV to caravan to camper. I don't even know. So I tell you what, just to make it simple, I'm going to call it our tour bus. That is one thing that no one has said. No one has said call it a tour bus because it is in fact not a tour bus. But according to some people, it's not a caravan. Others, it's not a camper. It's definitely not an RV. So you know what? I'm just going to call it the I'm a Survivor tour bus. Now, don't get excited. We're not taking any tours. Why is there already someone sending me a mean face? I swear, people. Shine your light, guys. Shine your light. And if you cannot shine your light, then on this channel, you should go shine your light somewhere because that's the most important thing about our existence in this world is making others feel happy. I read that little thingamajig. Oh, I've read it 100 times. It doesn't matter how much, what size house you live in, or what kind of clothes you wear, or what size handbag or what designer bag you wear. No one's going to remember any of that when you're dead and gone. But what they're going to remember is if you shine the light, how you made them feel. As a matter of fact, looky here. I got a new shirt today. Um, I I googled my okay, I'm reading it backwards. I Googled my symptoms. Turns out I just need Dr. Pepper. And in saying so, let that be the very first piece of our grand tour. I'm going to take the camera here on my phone and I'm going to flip it around backwards. And we're going to take you guys on a little sightseeing tour. Okay. Y'all bear with me. I'm carrying the entire laptop around with me. So I'm going to spin around here first into the little kitchenette area. Now, you know that we got this thing from Jason over at Cog Hill. Jason and Brooke, they lived in here for almost a year, my friends. They lived in here for almost a year. Look how cute. I don't understand. What I'll talk about later. Let me go ahead into the fridge here. Looky here. We have a refrigerator. I'm going to open it up. And of course, as you can see, that is exactly what I'm looking for. I'll take one of those. It's nice and cold. Thank you very much. So that will be the very first leg of our tour. I hope you enjoyed the first leg of our tour. Our first leg was to go get me that Dr. Pepper out of the fridge. So we'll talk a little bit about this RV here, but I can kind of turn it. Now, I know what you're going to say. Lester, it's dark in there. Lester, it's dark. I can't read any of your comments. I can't read any of your comments, guys, because they're going too fast. But I can tell you that I got a gift in the mail today, a Dr. Pepper shirt. And you've just seen the very first, the neat part of this having this camper, the tour bus, is it does have a refrigerator. And as you can see, I have it stocked with two Dr. Peppers, one for now and then one for later. Mm, that's good. All right, so it is a 30-foot camper and it is a pull behind. It's not a fifth wheel and it doesn't have that gooseneck attachment. So it can pull behind the bumper of your truck. And so that was the first room that I wanted to show you, all of the kitchen area, which is right here. It has a gas stove. It has the electric microwave. It has your refrigerator and a freezer there up above it. The stove even has that little range thing that has the suction stuff. You can, if you're cooking, it'll just suck all of the everything right out of the camper, which is really, really awesome. It does have a lot of lights. Hold on. Gosh, there's a lot of lights in this place. I just can't get that one to come on. Funny thing is, I've had to call Jason so many times and ask him for help. How do I get this? How do I do this? How do I do that? And every time I call him, he's real fast to answer, and he's real fast to call me right back and get onto it. Okay, are y'all ready to go see the next room? Are you ready for this one? Well, this will be easy. I'm going to take my computer and set it right over here and show you the little dining room. Look at this. This is where I was sitting just now. Look, it has a little wraparound table. So you could have more than one person sitting here, having a Dr. Pepper or having a chit chat, playing a game of cards, whatever you wanted to do. Well, looky over here. There's a little sofa. And what's neat about this is this sofa, if you wanted it to, makes out into a bed. Yeah, this here makes into a bed. Now, we're never going to do that. We're going to sit right here on this sofa and look at that thing right there, which I know you can't see it, but you're about to. Look, it has an entertainment center. It has a radio, stereo, and this thing it goes through the entire bus, even on the outside, so you can play your favorite tunes if you were ever camping or something. It has a big TV. Now, I don't know what's that, about a 32-inch TV? That's pretty good sized TV to have right here in a camper. It does have a sink. I'm going to lift this over here up and show you. What's surprising about this, guys, it actually has a double sink. How often do you see a double sink in a camper? That was pretty neat. That was kind of a big deal to Jamie because it was the big deal about it is not so much that we need a sink, because you already know that Doug and Sharon, the former owners, they have a great kitchen area right over here that has a really big sink. So whenever we were like talking to Jason, he was trying to, go through all of the really neat things about it. That would be neat if you truly were traveling. But we don't really plan on traveling. We plan on having this thing sit right here inside the shop. It'll be out of the weather, so it should last us forever. I mean, I'm hoping it will. It needs to. And it'll be a great place whenever we have the family over, whenever we have Lex come and stay, whenever we have more room than what we have enough room for. I want to show you the master bedroom. I want to show you the kid bedroom, and I have to show you the bathroom. And then I'll try to slow everything down, and we'll talk about all of your questions later. I will say this. There's a lot of people in these comments that know a lot more than I do. I had no idea how many people actually live in their RVs or they're constantly traveling. And then I think about the demographics of our page, the numbers on our page, and it's true. Most of our people are 45 or older. We have a lot of women who follow the page. And so I'm guessing that even though your husbands may not follow, you guys pretty much tell the story of what you and your husband do. And there's a lot of folks who RV. So the questions that I will not be able to answer, I'm sure someone in the comments can. But I hope that if they do answer the questions for you, they try to do it in a respectful and kind way, because this is all new to me. I've never in my life owned an RV, a camper, a caravan, or a tour bus. So this is really, really neat. All of the windows have three things pretty neat. They all have a bug screen, a mosquito screen. So if you were parked somewhere and it was good weather and you wanted your windows open, you have screen over the windows. That's pretty important. And then you have this neat little thing over here, which you can leave your windows open, but pull the sunscreen down. So now even though you have your windows open, you pretty much have your camper sunscreen so the sun's not glaring through. And if you prefer an extra level of privacy, looky here, you actually have blinds that come down. Now, I know all of that makes it a little bit darker in here, and I'm fighting for whatever light I can get to make this live. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave that up for the time being. Is that a cat? No. Anyway, it's a great little living room area, a great kitchen area. There's all kinds of cabinet space and a pantry and everything you could possibly think of if you were going to be roughing it for a couple of days. That's always fun to me to say that, when you're going to be roughing it for a few days and someone shows up in an RV or a camper. That's not really roughing it. All right, let's go take another piece of the tour. I'm going to turn the camera around. Let's go now look at the bedrooms. We'll go to the kid bedroom first because it's pretty awesome over there. Y'all ready? All right, getting up, turning the camera around. Let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Looky here. We are walking into the kids' bedroom. Now, obviously, if you look out that window, that's a pretty neat thing to see. Hi, babies. Hey, daddy's over here. Yeah, daddy's over here. There's all the babies in the yard looking at me. They don't know what I'm doing. They have no idea what I'm up to. They have no idea. But look, here's one bed up here on top. This would be the bed that Lex says he has to have. Lex just has to have this bed. That's the one that he's claimed, which is really cute. But there's another one right over here, which would be the one for Connor. So as you guys already know, Connor's not my child, but Connor and Lex they are always together. Whatever Lex does, Connor does. And this is what they want to do. So whenever they come over to sleep, they're going to both be in these beds right over here. They've already claimed them. Down below, there's another couch. And if you're saying, wait, why would there be a couch right there, Lester? I don't get it. Well, guys, there's a TV right there. And listen, this has all of your attachments for all of your entertainment stuff, like an Xbox. So can you imagine the boys coming over to hang out, putting their Xbox right there, plugging everything in, and then sitting on the couch here to play? And so we're excited about that. This room also has its independent stereo, which is really, really neat. All kinds of cabinets. There is a bottom bed over here that pulls out. It's a trundle bed. Remember those from the old days? The trundle beds. Isn't that awesome? There's 3 drawers on the bottom. So you have those drawers under the bed. That's amazing. All of those up top are cabinets. And so that's really neat. This is a really awesome and big. It's very spacious. It's a big room for the kids. And so they're excited about that. Let's go ahead and turn ourselves back around. And now we're looking down the camper. We're going to walk back into that living room den area I was telling you about, right over here. We're going to spin around, and this over here you can see is the kitchen area. Now, guys, what do you reckon might be behind this door? What do you reckon might be behind this door? Let's find out. Dun, dun, dun. Look, it's a bathroom. This is a tiny bathroom. But who needs a big bathroom when you're trying to rough it? It has a mirror, and look at the shower. Guys, it has a shower. I can tell that Jason and Brooke took great care of this place. And I'm thankful that Brooke pulled all of her hair out of the shower because Jamie still has a problem with that. I go take a shower and I have to pull all of Jamie's loose hair off the wall. I should not have said that, should I? But it has a little bathroom. I have not hooked up water yet. We don't need to, but there is one simple water hookup. It comes from a water hose, but it has plugs over there. And this is now it's small. Don't get me wrong. It is small and it's fairly confined. But guys, I'll tell you what, if you're out camping, this over here would be a whole lot better than having to go to the camp's public restrooms. I promise you that. You may not like the tiny space, but that right there is a whole lot better than going to the campsite's public restrooms. Thermostat. You're saying, Lester, turn on some air. How can you stand it? It's 80 degrees in there. This is not that bad. I can turn the air on, but it does get loud. And I did not want to have the noise hamper our live. So I know you're all saying, Lester, show us the last room. Lester, show us the last room. I will get there. I will get to the last room. Lester, show us the room where all the magic happens. Show us where the magic happens, Lester. We want to see the magic room, Lester. First of all, calm down. Okay, calm down, folks. When a man hits 50, I can't say there's a lot of magical things that happen. Okay, I'm just going to say that, and I hope that doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, especially for all of you ladies over 50. I'm sure you have plenty of magical moments. But I bet your men probably can't say the same, okay? But That's why no men watch my channel. That's why I have 85% women watching this channel right now, and no men want to say anything. Men are like, oh, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Getting a phone call, I'm not going to take it. Not going to take that phone call because I'm talking to you all. So I want to say a couple more things before I get to the master bedroom. Jamie was hoping that I could hold off on this video because she wanted to come in and decorate. Jamie, you know, women, you know, that's fine. That's a beautiful thing about women. You want to decorate, y'all. You always want to decorate. And so Jamie had already put some Amazon orders in for the new bedding and new this and new that and all. She wants to decorate. And so I says, Jamie, could we just give this place 2 tours then? One grand tour that I will give you when we first get it set up. And you can give the next grand tour when you get it fixed up. And so I convinced her that would be a good idea. And so today I'm giving you the first tour of the RV officially set up. That means that we got it all leveled out, which was super easy. We have the power hooked up, run to the wall. We had the electrician come by yesterday and wire it in to the hard wire. So we don't have to worry about any kind of electrical issues or running off battery power. It's hooked up to the hard stuff. And what's beautiful about that is, you know, that this whole shop is hooked up to a generator, a very powerful generator. And so if we were to ever lose power off the actual grid and generator comes on, the RV still has power as well. So we have a refrigerator, we have all of the things that we would need. And so we're real blessed for this thing. Now, I guess I can't hold you off any longer. I know you're just revving. Let's see it. You're like a bunch of crazy women. Just let's see it. Let's see it. You want to see the master bedroom, okay? Well, I'm excited to show it to you. So I'm going to flip this camera around and let's take a walk through the other end of the camper. Y'all ready? All right, turning the camera around now. And we're going to take us a walk into the room where all of the magic happens. Are y'all ready for this? Is my camera focused? Here we go. Okay, let's all just pass the stove and the sink and all the cool stuff in here. Now, you have 2 choices of how you want to get in here. You could go his way, which would be my way of going into the bedroom, or you could go Jamie's way into the bedroom. Who wants to go Lester's way? Fine, Lester's way it is. So I know it's getting a little bit blurry. Y'all just relax. This right here, my friends, is the master bedroom. Now, it has not been fixed. This is not anything fancy. These are the blankets that came on it from the dealership. And there's a blind over there over the bed that does raise up. Y'all want to raise it up? Y'all give me a second. Just think, you can tell all your friends that you are actually in bed with Lester. Yeah, who wants to say that? So I'm going to raise this up. I don't know how it raises up. All right, it's locked down for traveling. I don't know how that raises up. So we're not going to raise that up for now, okay? We're not going to raise that up because it is locked down for traveling. But look at all the shelving. There's shelves up top, shelves on the side. There's a smaller, like a 24-inch TV right here. Not too big, but it does have a TV. I'm going to walk around the edge over here. Guys, girls, women are going to love this. This over here is an extra like closet. And I know that girls have all kinds of things they would put into a closet. And so, yeah, you have mirrors. You have mirrors facing your bed. I don't know who would have thought of that. I didn't do it. I did not master plan this place at all. I promise you that. And then you have more shelving over here, and there's a lot of shelving. So Jason was always talking about this one feature that's pretty crazy. And I don't know why he always talked about it, but there's something spectacular about under here. Can y'all see under there? No, it's too dark. It's too dark. But that right there is a subwoofer, a speaker subwoofer under your bed. I don't know why that was such a big deal for Jason. I don't speak for Brooke and Jason. Okay, I'm back. The camera is back. Now, oh no. Now I'm on my official laptop camera, which is actually very blurry. This camera has been officially Can y'all hear me? There's absolutely zero comments coming through. I may have just ruined the whole darn thing. I don't know if y'all can hear me anymore or not. There's no comments coming through. So no sound. Sound is gone. Plug it back. Yes. I lost you, Lester. Yay, you're back. Okay. If you can hear me, clap once. That's a teacher thing. If you can hear me, clap twice. So teacher stuff, y'all. Don't even worry about that. Anywho, I am excited. This is the camper and the RV, the caravan, the tour bus, whatever you want to call it. Jamie and I, if we ever get where our life slows down and we can travel, guess what? Now we have a way to do it. Can we get to a regular live now? I know I've kept you waiting long enough. You've seen the entire tour bus, and I'm excited to talk to y'all about a couple of other things before you all end up leaving me. I'm watching the numbers drop as I speak. I'm literally watching the numbers drop. We've lost about 500 people in the matter of a minute because, oh, I've seen the tour bus. I'm done. I've seen it. I'm done. I'm leaving. But I do want to say that if Rick is trying to watch me, he needs to chime in and I'll let him be a part of this. Rick, I sent you a text and I asked you for your email and you never sent it to me. And I have to have your email before I can invite you to join the live. So you have to check your text, brother. I'm going to check mine right now. And oh, there's the text from Rick. Oh my gosh. So you guys want to hang around just for a second? And I would like to invite a friend. Would y'all like that? No one's answering me. So I have to go to. Okay, guys, not going to happen. Rick, sorry, it cannot happen. For some reason, my keyboard is non-responsive now, so I can't even type. So, buddy, we will have to plan this out a different day. But yes, I was going to invite Rick to talk a little bit about Carl and some really neat things that we've learned about Carl. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to get this. My mouse is responsive, but my keyboard is not. So I'm sorry. If I go to email, yeah, no, Rick can't do this. It ain't going to work. Oh, maybe so. Y'all hold on one second. What a simple, that was the simplest way to ever invite somebody. Okay, Rick, I sent you an email to invite you to join in, and I would love it if you would like to do that. Yeah, so we had a disconnect somewhere along the way, and now I have all kinds of glaring issues. I still don't know how the volume sounds on this, but Rick is obviously in the live, and now I have sent him an email to join this if he would like to. So if you guys don't know Rick, let me talk a little bit about what Rick has done for us. And I will say that I am 100% better. These animals are in 100% better place now than what they were before I ran across Rick and his channel. Now, Rick at first was hard to get to like because the first time I met Rick, one of you had sent me a link to an email, to a YouTube video where there was some guy who was just tearing me to shreds. This guy was tearing me to shreds, y'all. And it's hard to watch somebody rip you apart. You know, we're in human nature, we want to please folks. We want to. And so Rick was in his video was telling me things that I had no idea about. He was telling me things that I had no idea about. And in saying so, he was Well, I will just use some of the exact terminology: stupid human, stupid human, stupid human. But it wasn't until I took a deeper look, until I finally let the weight of what I saw in Rick's video begin to sink in, and I began to realize that what Rick was saying was right. And in fact, even though it was hard to hear it, I was being a stupid human. A lot of the things I was doing around the farm with the different animals, the horses, Carl for sure, the cows, I was not putting myself in the mindset of that animal. And once you begin to understand the way animals think, and you begin to kind of put yourself into their situation, and you begin to think like a horse, or think like a ostrich, or think like a dog, think like anything, all of a sudden things begin to make sense to you. And I will tell you this, I have learned more from Rick over the 2 years that he and I have become friends than I ever learned, than I ever had learned from anybody all of my life, from my parents to my grandparents to, as far as taking care of animals. There's things that everyone, I think, can learn from Rick. And so Rick uses, I would say, kind of a harsh vocabulary, but it's only because people come onto the channel, and I was doing the same thing, acting like we know everything. And we assume that because we have an animal sanctuary, and we assume that because we have 100 plus large farm animals, we assume that because we are the ones that are here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, we know what we're doing. But come to find out, we didn't know much of anything. We were going through the motions, and it was Rick that was trying to fix and help us. And so Rick has still not come to join yet. I did send the email invite, Rick. So maybe you're unable to join. I typed it correct. But yes, I did invite Rick to join us today. And Rick had an amazing breakdown of the analysis of what happened with Carl and with me on the day that Carl attacked me, which was just 2 weeks ago. Rick made a video where he broke it down step by step by step. Rick has learned, or at least maybe I've gotten better, but Rick will give you a compliment if you in fact deserve it. But at the same time, Rick does not mind ripping you a new beep if you in fact deserve that. And so there were things that I did wrong on that day and things that I did right that day. And there was also things that I realized about myself before I spoke to Rick. I had to think about what Rick was saying and say, darn it, he was right. And yes, he was right. And but even on that first video, I'm like, here's what I did wrong. Here's what I did wrong. And before that, I would have never considered those things. Before meeting Rick, I would have never had a chance to consider what role I was playing in the misbehaviors, I'm using air quotes, of all of the animals. And so Rick has not texted back yet either. So I'm not real sure exactly if we're on the wrong page or if we can just do this next Friday, Rick. Maybe we'll have it set up better. But today was kind of consumed with me showing off the RV anyway. I was excited about showing this thing off. So everyone knows that the shop here already has a bathroom and a washroom. And Mr. Dub and Miss Sharon had already even begun working on the inside to create a 1-bedroom apartment. We'll call it an apartment for Sharon. Sharon was not one who could just live in an RV forever. Men are one thing to live in a small space. But I can't imagine. I think about Brooke, Mrs. Coghill. I think about Brooke and how she was able to live in a very small space for that long. And here's what's funny about it. And me and Jamie were talking, and I've watched all of Coghill's videos, but I never saw Brooke in a bad mood. I never saw her huffing and puffing and steaming mad. And don't you think that by living in a very small and a cramped quarters for so long, that at some point it might begin to get to you? I know that Mary Carl kept her birds in her room. And so that means that by day, there had to be a lot of noise coming out of here. And so Brooke is a whole lot better woman than what I would be. And Jason is a better man than I am because, taking your family and leaving out of a home, a full-sized home, and convincing them to reduce so much of their life and live for a year in a very small space. I mean, 30 foot long, guys. You can imagine how long that is, and a very tiny bathroom. And I just picture how much space it takes for Jamie and my sisters and my mom to, lay out all of their stuff and do all of their stuff. And boy, I'll tell you what, Brooke never missed a beat. She always looked gorgeous in all of those videos where she's over there helping Jason. She always made up pretty. Hair was always pretty. Mary Carl was always made up, and not made up with makeup, but Mary Carl was always presentable. And I'm like, how could that be possible in such a tiny, livable space? So we're blessed that we still have our home and that's where we'll be going on most of our nights. But we do have a place now we can come and stay if we choose to, have long weekends. Whenever Jamie's son comes to town or Jamie's mom, or we have other friends who come in, guess what? Da-da! A livable space for the weekend. And I know that anybody can handle it for a weekend. So Karen says her husband and I have been talking about that exact same thing. I'm guessing that very same thing would be, how would it be to live in a very small space for so long? I don't really, if you've ever had a chance to walk in and visit and see a camper, and I think that most of y'all have had a chance to be inside one here and there. But I would love to see how Cog Hill managed that. And, Jason makes great videos with his animals, but I would love if they ever had any video footage of the day in and the day out of living in the camper. How that would be. I am so very sorry, my friends. I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take that call. It's funny because the one person who I want to call is Rick, so we can help him get in here, and he won't call, and everyone else is. Do you want to know something funny? At 11:58, I was getting everything set up, and my phone rang, and it said, I'm not even going to tell you. I don't want to embarrass you. And I went ahead and answered it, and it was a lady who was curious if I was going to go live. And I says, yeah. I says, I'm running behind. I'm like, give me a couple of minutes. And but how funny that someone called to ask me if I was going to go live. Like, I just give my number to everybody. I guess Google does that. Anyway, I do want to say a couple of things before I let you guys go. Bree's goat yard is all the way finished. You heard me right. Brienne's goat yard is all the way finished. All we have to do is take a couple of extra building materials out, move out the paint cans, and kind of restack those things close to Brienne's house, where our next project is going to be able to put a roof onto her porch, her front porch. And when we bought materials, we bought enough materials to do that job as well. So we're excited about that. Bree's goat yard is ready. And so I told Bree she could wait until I bring her goats home with mine next week, or she can come get them now if she wants to. But I advised her to take some time and clean out all of that yard. It needs to be cleaned. Things need to be burnt. It needs to be cleaned up. There's still scrap wood that we never picked up that needs to be burnt. And so we will take care of that when we have time. I also want to say, this is very important. Thank God there's still several of y'all here. Very important. An email that we got a couple of days ago from a lady who was very upset because she saw a political ad popped up as one of her ads, and it went against what she believes. So, guys, I want to tell you something. We have midterm elections upon us. And when people put out an advertisement, a campaign advertisement, they don't look and choose who the audience is. And so this particular woman was very upset that I believe it was a candidate who was running to try to reverse the Roe versus Wade, the abortion stuff. And this woman was very upset. I'm guessing hardcore conservative. And she did, she was very upset that I would put that on my page. Guys, remember something. We do not pick and choose the advertisers. Advertisers pick and choose us. And so there's an auction, believe it or not, when you post a video, a part of that waiting game before you can actually upload it to publish it, is that waiting game, which there comes my air conditioner, which gives your advertisers a chance to watch it and decide if they want to put an ad on there. So what I'm guessing is that because the page is made up of about 85% women, and we're blessed to have you ladies, there might be a lot of ads that are going to go back and forth with the whole women's rights. And so just understand that that's nothing to do with Lester and my beliefs, or Jamie and her beliefs, or anybody else, y'all. So just know that that's something that we have no control over. It's like when you watch a Netflix or you go to the movie theater, you don't control what commercials you see or what ads you see that pop up before your movie plays. It's the same thing here. That's all done as part of an auction kind of a thing. And so I told Jamie, I think it's actually very likely that because our page is made up of mostly women, you're going to see a whole lot more of the campaigners trying to grab this page, because let's face it, women's rights, especially when it comes to the RV Wade and all of that stuff, it's going to be big this midterm. It's going to be very big this midterm. And I believe that you're going to see a lot of advertisers on pages that are catered to women. Now, why does Lester's page cater to women? I have no idea. I think that you love animals. I think that you love the fact that there's a success story here from, I don't want to say from, I like to say rock bottom to you know, the story. There's a beautiful storyline here with where we started and where we're at now. And I think that you guys like stories like that. And so I'm blessed to have the women that follow the page, because I've never found a more loyal audience. And I know for a fact that the other channels that I'm friends with wish they had as many women on their channels as what we do, because women are the ones that drive these pages. Women are the ones that are loyal to come back and continue to watch every day. It's funny. And here I go knocking on men now. I'm a man and I get it, men. But the attention span of a man is very, very short compared to a woman's. And women already know that. But when we look at our analytics, and it shows us that we have 85% women, and your average video views are 9, 10, 11 minutes. Compared to a man, 15% of the men only watch for 3 minutes or less. And so what does that tell you? The men can look at a video and real fast get bored and move on. And a lot of the women become invested. A lot of the women, I think, become invested. And for you men who have become invested, and for the ladies who are invested, I'll tell you what, I could not ask for a better loyal audience than what I have in you guys. So just be aware that whatever ads you see pop up are nothing to do with me. They're only targeting you, but they're not set by me. I don't have the option to go in there and say, do not play any ads from this political party, or do not play any ads from this particular product. So that was 2 things I wanted to talk about. There was one third thing that I had written down on my list, and I totally don't think I can't remember what it was. I cannot remember what it was. So forgive me for that. Okay, so I hope I've answered all of your questions about the camper, the RV, the convoy, no, the caravan, or the tour bus. And I will bring you more of this thing. I'm sure every live I do will be inside of here, because there's less noise. I don't know how bad the AC is right now, but there's less noise, there's less distractions, there's no flies, and I will be in here a lot, my friends. I will be in here a lot.
Yes, the boat races. Okay, someone said, Lester, don't forget the boat races. On Sunday, we will be doing our first annual cardboard boat races. How shocked was I to find out that so many of you guys have done that before, or you've seen these before, maybe in your town or in whatever part of the country you're in, or the part of the world. You've done these for high school projects for science and stuff. I had no idea. My school was not that cool, I don't guess. But we did not do cardboard boat races. And I did not hear about it until Jamie told me and she wanted to do it. And so we went out this week and we treated our pond. Our pond is gorgeous. A few duck feathers here and there, a few geese feathers floating around, but the water's clean. We put the good bacteria to kill the bad bacteria. Everything looks great in the pond. It's nice and pretty. It looks like we're in Tampa, Florida. I'm going to be honest. We look like we're in some beach in Pensacola or something. The water's beautiful. And I even have my little redneck sprinkler system set up out there. I did that. I did do that. My redneck sprinkler system's out there. And yeah, there's no snakes. There's no snakes in our pond area. Trust me, there's no turtles right now. And we're ready for some cardboard boat races. It's a family event, so I believe you'll see every one of the Morrows there that day. Some do not want to compete. Some are not going to compete, but I bet you they'll show up and make an appearance to root for their favorite team. And personally, I'm so sorry for all the teams who built these amazing boats. I went and got me a watermelon box. You may have seen the video. I got me a watermelon box, very heavy duty cardboard, guys. It's that thick, and it has to be. How else could you have a box that can hold 25 watermelons without busting at the seams? And so I believe if this boat can hold, or this tub, this box can hold 25 watermelons, then I'm almost certain that it should be able to hold Lester. What is this over here? Looking forward to the boat race. So that will be Sunday. So you guys make sure you join Sunday for our Sunday live. We're going to try to come live from the pond. Now, there's no guarantee that we'll have a good signal up there, but I know that every one of us creators will all have our own version of it. I'm afraid that my mom and dad, who are going to be the judges, are going to end up having to find a lot of boats that should be disqualified, because we all know how Jake and Brienne, you've all seen their videos, they're cheaters. They are cheaters through and through. And I'm sorry to have to bring that to you. I know that you love Jake. I know you love Brienne, but they are cheaters, and they've been cheating from day one. So yes, that boat race will be at I'm a Survivor in our big pond up front. It has gotten plenty of water. It's nice and clean. And so that's that. We will not be bringing the goats home until next week after the boat races for that reason. We do not need the goats out there ramming kneecaps and destroying people's boats. Okay. So, and someone says, is Uncle Dan doing it? And I think that Uncle Dan is not. I believe Uncle Dan's going to help out, but I do not think that Uncle Dan's going to compete. But Lester will be the biggest guy inside of a boat. And so God help me. I don't want to embarrass myself or my family, but I'll be racing against my son, Lex. Jamie's going to be the videographer. She's going to try to be the one to bring all this to you. She'll do it on the StreamYard, so all channels will have access to it. And if for some reason we don't have internet signal, don't worry. We'll just record it regular, and we'll make a hell of a video out of it, guys. We will make a heck of a video. Oh, this is cute. Hold on. I got to show you all this. How interesting that you brought this up. Please don't leave. Someone asked me, how is Pat and Dave? I cannot find that actual. Oh, it went by so fast. I'm scrolling trying to find it because I want to talk to you about this. Oh, it says, can you invite Pat and Dave? That would be interesting. Let me tell y'all a scary story from this morning. I had just finished my chores over at Longhorn Lester's, and I was getting in the truck and I was heading over to, no, I had just finished my chores at I'm a Survivor. I'm in the truck and I'm driving over to Longhorn Lester's, and I got a message from Dave, Mr. Dave, and he's at work, and he's very concerned because he can't find Miss Pat. And he says, Lester, I'm a little bit worried. Could you go over there and check on her? And I says, Dave, I'm not at Longhorn Lester's right now. I'm 30 minutes out. I says, what's going on? And he said that normally she wakes up by 8:30, and she always calls him and say good morning. But this morning she never called. He said he's beginning to call her, and the phone going straight to voicemail. Man, straight to voicemail. And, you know, guys, I've been there before, and that is worrisome. And he goes, Lester, I hate it, but I went to the cameras, and I began to like look on the cameras, see if I could see her. And he goes, I haven't seen her out and about all morning. So he gave me the code to his gate, and he says, could I please run by there and check up on Miss Pat? And, you know, they're amazing neighbors. They live right next door to us, and they've been so good to us. And so I went ahead and put the truck in high speed, y'all. I drove a lot faster than I normally drive. And right before I turned down this road, I got a text, and Dave, it was Mr. Dave, and he says, okay, all is good. He said that Pat had forgotten to charge her cell phone, and so she had no battery. That's why it was going to voicemail. He said she was doing something on the other side of the house, which is why he didn't see her on the cameras, but he did catch her walk outside and was watering her plants on the front porch. So he goes, you know what? I think all is fine. If she can water the plants, then she's fine. And so anyway, all is good. But have we not all been there? Have we not all been there? And so I was blessed to be in a position to go by and check on Miss Pat. I'm glad that I didn't have to. But, you know, the 30 minutes that Mr. Dave had to wait and the agony that he was probably going through, I think every one of us have experienced at some point in our life when we can't find one of our children, or our partner has not come home, and we call and text and it goes to voicemail. Or, I mean, there's all kinds of things in my life that I can relate to. And so I know that you all probably feel the exact same way. No, I'm blessed that Pat is fine and Dave is fine. And right before I came inside the camper, I saw her over there mowing. So not only is she fine, but she's out working. And so that's beautiful. So she's good. And as you say, thank goodness for Miss Pat. Everyone loves Miss Pat. Did y'all see her feeding those ostriches? How crazy is that? I'm like, Pat, because that fence between our yards is not a high fence. It's probably a 4-foot fence. And, you know, Carl, if he was angry, could probably jump right over a 4-foot fence. But no, Pat's right along the side there, and she's looking up. Little Miss Pat, she has her mealworms, and she's just feeding them to Carl. And he's just so happy. And if you've not seen that video yet, it will come out soon. I don't remember exactly if we put it on Facebook or YouTube first. And that will be my last question. Let me answer this question, and I'll be done. A lot of people are concerned because they see the order of videos has been mixed up. There for a very long time, you saw both of the YouTube videos in the afternoons. I think we played one at 3 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock in the afternoons. And then on the Facebook, you saw that video in the early morning. And so I'm like, oh, Lester, why are you changed everything up on us again? Guys, it's complicated. I will just say it's complicated. All of the ins and outs of social media, they change on a regular basis. And what we were able to get approved last week, we have to resubmit for approval this week. And so some things have taken longer to get approved. And what I'm discovering is there have been days when my Facebook video is approved automatically. And I'm like, how did that happen? Facebook is normally a whole lot more careful to manually review all of these videos, but they let me upload and publish the same day. And so I begin to do that if I can. And what I like about that, it kind of keeps things mixed up. You don't know exactly sure on what channel you're going to see things first. Some folks are only Facebook, some are only YouTube. And if that's you, don't worry, because you'll see every video. You'll see every video. But I will say that sometimes the order may be a little bit reversed. But so that is confusing for you guys who watch both platforms. And I'm not saying don't do that. That helps us tremendously. When you watch both platforms, not only do we get the nonprofit money. I'm a Survivor, is a nonprofit. So from the videos from I'm a Survivor on Facebook, that all goes to the nonprofit. That takes care of all of the animals' needs, their feeds, their fencing, their vet costs, and everything else. And like I say, we don't ask for money. We do not ask for money, and we would never ask you for money. We've made it very clear that Morrow Hill will not ask you for money, and you will never catch any of our creators asking you for money. That was one of the big no-nos that when we begin to promote other channels around the farm, we talked about that. We're like, if you want to have a subscriber button, that's one thing. If you want folks who have the extra resources and they want to subscribe to send you a couple of dollars, that's one thing. But do not go in there asking for money to help you build this, or do not ask for money to build that. Do not, because I know for a fact, and without getting into any specifics, but I know for a fact that every YouTube creator, once they get 5 or 6 or 7,000 followers, hear me, they make plenty of money. And if they don't, it's because they don't post videos on a regular schedule, and they don't give you videos entertaining enough to keep you engaged. So I've always said, make those guys work for your money. Make Jake work for your money. Make Bree work for your money. Make my dad work for your money, because as Morrows, we would not have it any other way. We would not feel right taking money from in any other way. And so make us work for our money. Make us earn it through those advertisers, y'all. Make us earn it through the advertisers. And so I wanted to make sure we made that point again. So no, a lot of people are saying amen and thank you, Lester, and that's true. Hold on. Jake said he would do anything for $5. Guys, Jake jokes with you. Jake is kidding. Sometimes Jake can joke. Don't believe Jake when he says that. Jake does not need your $5. Have y'all seen his vacation he's on right now? Have y'all seen his new truck? Do not send Jake $5. He doesn't need it. Make Jake earn his $5 by giving you good quality videos. And that's what was a big point that we made at the creator conference. And I will, listen, I would leave, but there's still so many folks here. I don't want to leave if there's still this many people hanging around. I can talk. I can just ramble on. So I was actually waiting for the drop. And I know y'all normally start dropping at a certain point. When you've heard enough, you start dropping. But hold on a minute. Believe Jake? I hope that exclamation point means believe Jake. Yeah, right. Yeah, do not believe a thing Jake tells you. And Jake is on vacation. I'm not going to go through all of Jake's details. This is Jake's personal life. But if Jake told you he'll do anything for $5, he was kidding, y'all. He's joking. So stop it. And now there's all kinds of questions about money, and I'm not really looking into getting into money questions, but I will say this, and I really will let you guys kind of have an insight on how money works with social media. It is possible for a social media influencer, which is what we all are, a video creator, to make a ton of money the right way. Not Jim Baker. Oh, please, we need to help you. No, that is not how a video influencer makes money. It angered me so bad when one of Ellie's favorite Instagram people asked every one of his followers to please send him $1, just $1 from my birthday. Here's my Cash App. Send me $1 from my birthday. That's all I ask. Well, guess what? The guy had 100,000 followers on his Instagram, and he gave all these people his Cash App. He only wants $1. What's $1? Well, $1 is not much for you, but $100,000 is going to give that man more than he's ever earned, more than he deserves. And so I've always felt like, as a video creator, it's our job to go out and earn your money. And how does a video creator earn money? Number one, giving you quality content. Don't go out there and throw some video together real fast last minute and expect everyone to watch it, because you're not stupid. You have so many choices of what you watch. And when you can watch so many different channels, you have to make people want to watch yours. And so I'll give y'all a secret. I have tried to change up some stuff in my Longhorn Lester videos to make them more pleasurable for you all. And I got a secret from little old Ann. Ann, this lady that I met at the Creator Conference, the one that I told you guys about, there's something that Ann did that kept her very balanced. And Ann plays background music in her videos, and that background music keeps her balanced, keeps her calm, keeps her relaxed, and it makes her audience feel equally relaxed. And guys, isn't that what you want? You want to be able to escape from all of the turmoil, all of the mess going on in your life, the drama, the marital issues, the financial issues, the health issues. You just want to escape for a minute into a video. And so guess what? Why should we be giving you more turmoil? And so I've been accused of that from day one, that my videos give you stress. You have high anxiety and my videos don't make it any better. So I said, you know what? I can't really change a whole lot about I'm a Survivor. I'm a Survivor is a chaotic, crazy place, especially when the goats are there. You have that big galoot named Moo. You have Bucky's who can't see very well, and he'll kick or bite at anything that startles him. You have chickens and geese and turkeys and all kinds of birds that want to come at you and peck your eyes out. And so ultimately, I'm a Survivor is a place where I have a really hard time finding my peaceful place. But Longhorn Lester's, besides the occasional Carl attack, man, it is just a peaceful, loving, quiet place, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So I talked to Ann and I says, Ann, would you mind if I copy one of your ideas? I want to start adding music to my videos, like do the whole thing to kind of help me find that zen, that softness that you have, and talk. I want to talk to my people, to my friends, the ones that follow the page. Don't just talk at you. I want to talk to you. And Ann said, by all means. To her, it was a compliment. And so we discovered some music that was non-copyrighted that you can use. And so I'm using music now in my Longhorn Lester videos. And I got that from a very small creator, Ann. And so I love her as a person, and I've gotten to know her. And I really do hope that she gets and can find success in video creating. But I don't even know where this came from. No, I was just telling y'all about video creating in general. But listen, now the numbers are starting to drop. I'll answer a couple of questions, and then I really will get off of this thing. Hey, I will say one more thing about Dave and Pat. After Dave discovered that Miss Pat was fine, and it was a huge weight lifted off of his shoulders, I says, boy, I bet you can't wait until you can retire. And he goes, man, I'm counting the days. And then I got to thinking about it. And I says, Dave, careful what you wish for. Because here I am retired, not officially, but getting close. Here I am retired from teaching. I drive a bus as a fill-in driver, a sub driver, only when I have time to. But I'll tell you what, my days are more busy than they ever were when I had a full-time job. My days are more busy now than when I had a full-time job teaching, and I also coached in the afternoons. My days are so busy. And so I said, Dave, careful what you wish for, because if you're like me, you may find yourself doing something that might not be so relaxing anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to make sure I talked about that real fast. So for you folks who are retired, you might want to find something to do, but I hope that whatever you do find, you find relaxation in it, because that is the one thing I can say about being retired, but still doing what I do every day, is it's very relaxing. especially here at Longhorn Lester's. I'll get out there in a few minutes. I'll take my camera and I'll just walk around and I'll do what I normally would do on any given day. But I know that I'll have a group of you all with me. And so it gives me someone to talk to, and it gives me someone who I know is going to listen. And I know that you listen because then you put the comments and it tells me that you were listening. And I love that. I do. And I need that. I got a letter this morning from a lady who told me about she had some hip replacements. And so she's unable to get around real good. And then if that wasn't bad enough, she had some other paralyzation. Her leg, one of her legs went paralyzed, hopefully just temporarily. And she just talked about how miserable she has been, stuck at the house, unable to do anything or go anywhere. And for the first time in her life, she feels just miserably bored. And she says that she finds a whole lot of escape in our videos. She said that she times it to where she can find about an hour a day of watching all of the Morrow's videos if she'll watch them back to back to back to back. And she said that's the best hour of her day. And I tell you what, that is I feel broken for her for what she's going through. I can't imagine how that would be for someone who's normally active, and then all of a sudden you find yourself unable to do things. But then she talked about the fact of she uses the videos that we put out for her temporary escape. And that right there was a huge blessing to know that the blessing that we're living, we're able to pay that forward in the form of videos. So that's very nice. My trip to Alabama was amazing. I will say this, and I said it before, that Alabama has the most beautiful countryside that I've ever seen. Your infrastructure there is amazing. I love the way you have focused on your roads and your highways. And in Alabama, the road that we took, I forgot which road it was. It went up north through Montgomery and Mobile, Alabama. It went up north, but I'll tell you what, it had a divider. So you had your lanes of traffic going this way. I think it was 3 lanes coming this way, but you had all these beautiful trees in the middle. Not only that, you had trees on the outside. And we drove that for over 200 miles. And I said, Jamie, where's all the houses? Where's all the businesses? Because listen to this, in Alabama, they don't let people put big old signs along the highways. Their highways are not littered with all of these giant signs that say Exxon, McDonald's. All you see is beautiful highway. And now if you want to get off the highways, you take the exits, and that will take you off to the different neighborhoods and the other little cities. Now, of course, you finally come to your big city that your highway will loop around. And so that's one thing. But the open highway in Alabama is superior to any other state that I've ever traveled through. The roads are nice and smooth. You didn't hit all kinds of crazy bumps and potholes, which is funny because I was a little bit worried when Jason messaged me. He says, make sure you take the route that doesn't include any dirt roads. And my eyes got big, and I says, Jamie, there might be dirt roads. And so I didn't know what was going on. There's a lot of folks who have highways like that in your states. And if you have those kind of states that focus on that, I'm afraid that Texas has sold our highways to advertisers. And so you cannot drive down any stretch of road without having just billboard after billboard after billboard. And it clutters up a city. Listen to this. I didn't even see any power lines. So I don't know if they do underground power or the power lines are off on the other side of the woods. They have their own little, maybe a straightaway, a lane cleared for their power lines. But I'm thinking this is just gorgeous. And I should have made a video of that for y'all, and I didn't. So has Oklahoma. So Oklahoma, they certainly are the same way. So guys, I did not know that. Maine, they said, has no billboards. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit let down. I love being a Texan, and I love living in Texas. I really do love Texas. It's like a part of me. The culture and the history and I love Texas. I love the openness. I love the terrain, the topography. But Texas has sold out to billboards, and I don't know who pays for that. I don't know how they get income for that, but somebody has sold our state's beauty, the beauty of what could be a beautiful state, to the highest builder on any given billboard. And so, what's this over here say? I've had brain tumor surgery, breast cancer twice, but when I herniated 2 discs, I had never felt pain like that before ever. I had 2 surgeries because the surgeon messed up the first one. I still have sciatic pain and a numb foot, so I understand what you're feeling, and I know it hurts worse than childbirth. Hugs and prayers. So, is that Denise Burns Hobbs? Denise, bless you for all that you've undergone. And your picture, you look way too young to have had to undergo so much hurt and so much pain in your short life. But I can't imagine, because this is one thing after another, after another, after another. And it's reading things like this that make me feel like such a chicken shit. Like, here I am, poor me. I lost my home in Hurricane Harvey. I lost my car during a hurricane flood. I lost my animals. But you know what? I've never had a major illness. I've never had a major any pains. You know, I've never had any major surgeries. And so sometimes when you start feeling sorry for yourself, like I do a lot, I have to realize that my kids are healthy, my family's healthy, and I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss of words when I read things like that. So all I can do is just tell you that I'm so sorry. I really am so very sorry. And so what your message has done for me is it helps to humble me. It helps to bring me down to reality and realize that no matter how bad some things, sometimes things can be, we're pretty blessed, because we're actually pretty blessed in the whole scheme of things. And so I know there's a lot of folks like you. We get those emails on a regular basis, a lot of handwritten letters from people who don't email that tell very similar stories. And my heart does go out to you. And so thank you for sharing your story. And for everyone who's able to read this, I wish that you'd all just give a little prayer for her, and that her life can clean up and pick up, and she can find herself pain-free again. Because could you imagine how good and how much she longs for being pain-free? Think about it. When I lived in Houston, going up through Arizona, through Texarkana, I didn't see any billboards. So listen, so maybe it's a Houston thing. Maybe I might be guilty of putting all of Texas onto Houston. But yeah, so we do live in Houston, and so Houston is I'll make a video one day. Maybe that's something that you had no idea about. But the next time that I drive to pick up Lex, I drive all the way through Houston. I drive from the north side to the south side, and I will make maybe like a time-lapse video and show you guys how blessed you are if you do live in a part of the state or a part of the country that doesn't sell themselves for billboards. Then consider yourself blessed. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So Caroline gives her words of advice. And so think about something. When you find someone like Dee, who just wrote, who's already been through so much, I bet you, y'all, she has conditioned herself to where not many things affect her. Whereas a lot of us who've never had to deal with anything, we can find ourselves distraught over nothing, really, in this whole scheme of things. And because we've never had to face those moments of such adversity that we've had to overcome. And so Carolyn's right. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but God forbid, we don't want things to come that close to killing us. We don't want to be that strong. Just let me just be pain-free for a day. And that's another thing too. I whine and complain about my knee, and I have to stop doing that, y'all, because at least my knee works. At least my knee helps me get off this couch, and I can walk out that door and I can go down them steps I can climb on top of that four-wheeler or on that Argo, and I can drive across that pasture, get out of that Argo, and my knee does pain me. But guys, it's nothing compared to the women who've had breast cancer, women who've had to undergo hysterectomies, women who've had to have children, for Christ's sake, women who deal with so much. And so, woe is me. Is that the expression? Woe is me. And what's going on with Beverly? Great question. So we gave Beverly a tetanus shot yesterday. You give her a tetanus booster every year, once every couple of years. But we had to actually go yesterday and for safety, give her an actual tetanus shot, like the kind you would give if you think someone may have it. Now, we've not had the vet come out yet because, unfortunately, our vet only does visits on Wednesday. And we did not think that Beverly had that big of an issue on Wednesday. We knew what had happened, but we did not call and get her an appointment in time for the vet to come out and see her. And we feel like loading her up in the trailer would be harder on her wound than it would be just trying to treat her here. So what we're doing is watching her demeanor. We watch the way she's eating. We watch the way she's moving. We watch the way she acts. And it's like when you have a child who's sick and you don't know what's wrong with your child, you have to watch their demeanor. And that child's demeanor can tell you more than what sometimes the child is able to say. And so Beverly not being able to talk. And so we have to watch her demeanor. And I'll tell you what, she's eating, she's getting around. And a little while ago, when I pulled into Longhorn Lester's, guess what? She was down by the road with all of the bigs. And I put the window down. I says, hey guys. And Beverly let me have this big old that woke up the entire neighborhood. And so if anyone was wondering how Beverly is, that right there will give you what you need to know. Beverly's going to be fine. She's going to be fine. So listen, I think that I have just about taken away a whole lot more of your time than I'd ever planned to. I want to thank y'all for taking the grand tour with me. I will walk outside and show you the outside of this thing as I leave you. So one more time, the inside, you're looking at me, aren't you? So I have to spin it around. And this over here will be the boys' bedroom. And there's 3 beds and a couch in here, 3 bunk beds and a couch, which is awesome. And there's a TV for the boys. And then walking out, you have a big old pantry closet over here. You have your little dining room area right there, your card table. We play checkers and Connect 4 a lot. Look, a little couch to sit on and lounge while you have coffee or watch the morning news. We have windows all over this thing. There are screened windows all over this place. Lots of natural light. The problem is I have it parked inside, so I don't get as much natural light as what you would if it was parked outside. A huge TV here, cabinets up here, entertainment center that goes around the entire. It has different zones. So zone this, zone that, zone that. You can control the music in all the different zones. It has electric and gas. So we're able to have the gas containers, the canisters on the front of the RV. So we can use gas if we were traveling. This over here is where all the magic happens. I'm going to walk you in Jamie's side. Looky here. Doesn't that look comfy? There's a little end table on each side. There's a plug for your phones. There's a TV here behind us. More windows over there, cabinets. And like I said a while ago, look at that. Looky there. Is that awesome? I don't know a whole lot more to show you on the inside. Big old sink. I don't have the water turned on yet because I don't need the water. Like I said, we do have the water in the other. Oh, glorious day. Glorious day. Y'all look at this. Keep watching. Look what's happening here. We got rain. We got rain coming down. Here's my ladies. Hello, pretty girls. Hello, pretty girls. I'm getting rained on. Let's go find out where the birds went. I want to see where the birds went. Looking for them big birds, y'all. This is pretty cool just to kind of walk around holding your laptop. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know where the birds are at. Oh, no. They're all laying down over there. Hey, babies. What y'all hear is the fan blowing on me. It's actually not for me. It's for these dogs here. All right, I'm going to set this laptop on my truck, and I'm going to go ahead and end the live right now. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this and for being a part of my life and being a part of the Morrows in general. We're very blessed to have you. Jump on that bed, Lester. Hold on. Hold on. Jump on that bed, Lester, before doing the do to make sure it's silent. Okay, y'all might want to get your you may want to get your thumbnails ready for this. Jump on that bed, Lester, before doing the do to make sure it's silent. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do anything that's going to embarrass my family. I will do nothing to embarrass my family here. Nothing will embarrass my family here, right? Okay, here we go. I'm looking for hearts. I'm looking for laughy faces. I'm looking for anything besides more of those hate faces. Why am I only seeing those little hateful faces? Hold on a minute. There's something wrong here. Why in the world do I have so many angry faces? You asked me to jump on the bed. At least I didn't do it in any kind of weird, perverse way. I just pretty much slammed it with my hands, y'all. I slammed it with my hands. You know what? Enough of this. The bed's comfy. It's not like the bed at home, obviously. It doesn't have a Tempur-Pedic or anything by any means, but it's a good bed. I'll just end it right there. It's a good bed. Hey, why did you make me do that? Why did you make me do that? It's the things y'all make me do, I swear. You have